Welcome back to another episode of A Record of My Father. Here we are today talking about the Kentucky Derby. We just got back about what, 2 days ago?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday,
Sunday,
Sunday.
Sunday. You've been doing that since I was a kid. You know that? What is
Well,
that from?
no,
Is that just the furniture store? Bob's
no,
Furniture
no,
Store?
no. That is from Monster Truck, Monster Truck Jam.
Oh.
We are coming to the Capitol Center. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
You might be able to get a job at the you
I
remember
think
the
I mean,
grave digger? You remember that guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it, me and you, when you were about knee high to a grasshopper.
Yeah, that was Cub Scouts, and the kid was throwing popcorn all over the person in front of him. Remember that?
Oh
You
no,
remember that?
he was kicking the guy too,
Was
and
he
the
kicking him in the
dad.
back of the head?
No, he's kicking the guy's back of his chair. No, he was. Were we
Yeah.
on bleachers? We were on bleachers. He was kicking the
No,
guy's.
no, no. That was seats. Those were
He
seats.
was he was kicking the back of his seat, and he just kept doing it. And the father was sitting down six, and it's like, I hate to say this, no, I don't. I did want to slap the shit out of him, but I didn't. Okay, that's I just wanted to, but I didn't. But that's because you don't do that, and you're a
Why
scout.
wasn't? Yeah.
And his dad was there, and that's the difference. If his dad wasn't there, I would have been a little more forceful in what he had to do. And it would have been a question: either you leave the guy alone, or I'm taking you home right now.
I thought he was a
And that would have been that.
regional. I thought the dad was a regional like instructor or something too.
He would now he was a nice guy, but he was very uh he just like he kept giving his son more chances to torment people. And
Strangers, that is.
they were
This is
strangers.
complete
And you say to
stranger.
yourself, like, if my kid was kicking the back of an airline seat, I wouldn't take him to the side, stop him. Especially if I was sitting in another row, if I was sitting somewhere else, he was sitting 4 seats down, and his son had a seat next to him, so he could have sat right next to his kid.
I remember you
But
being
he
in charge
came
of like
up.
9 kids too. You
But
were
yeah,
like, what the hell?
exactly.
What the heck was that?
I was doing that all the time
That was
because they
yeah.
would follow me because I'm the loudest guy. Sorry, in the room, not sorry, but I'm usually loud and people follow me, and I'm easy and that kind of stuff, and hold hands, do this, and
I
I
thought
don't
they just
ask.
appointed you as the new Cub Scout guy, therefore you were forced to do all the
Oh, they kind of they said, but
that's what it seemed like
I
now that
learned a
I'm looking back
lesson.
at it.
I
Yeah.
learned a lesson from a guy that was the CFO at Freedman's Billings and Ramsey, which is it's FBR now. It's may not even be. It's a investment bank, and he was a CFO there. And he said, "Okay," he said, "I retired." He said, "Whatever you do," he said, "don't take on too many volunteer things." Because this, I remember, I had retired when I was 45. This is during that time frame. And he said, don't take on too many things. And if you take on anything, don't be in charge. He said, always be second or third. He said, that way the ultimate responsibility doesn't lie with you. Otherwise, you're going to be ripping your hair out real fast.
That's great
And
advice.
so I was the assistant cub master. I was the guy that carried the football equipment on. I was the ball man. I was always that guy that did all the support work, and I would do anything to support because I was, as my wife said, unemployed. Oh, no, that's what I said. She said, "Stop it. Tell them you're retired." I said, "But I'm 45. How the hell can I say that?" But anyway, anyway, another story altogether. But that particular, how did this come about? How did we start talking about this little
I don't
kid?
know. It just kind of happens. It
I
just kind of happens, doesn't it?
mean, it's an Edith Bunker mentality for you old people out there. You'll know that she starts here, and instead of going straight across in a line, she goes, and then you get to the end of the story.
And that's
You
the
know,
name of this episode.
and that's the name of this episode
Edith
because
Bunker
we're talking about
mentality.
the Kentucky Derby, and I don't know how the hell we started talking about Cub Scouts when the little kid was being a little jerk, and his dad came up and could have sat next to him. He didn't, and he said, "Stop it, little Johnny," and that wasn't his name. And then and the kid was like, "See, he's good now," and he sits there for like a minute, and then he goes back to his buddies and sits with them. The man leaves his kid there.
I
The
thought he
kid
was
does it
drinking
again.
too during this thing too.
The kid does it again. Yeah, I think he was a drunk and silent, but anyway, another story. Does it again, and then I'm just like hard pressed to like, dude, you what are you? so I go down and get him again, and I take his kid with me. And I said, either you sit with him down here or you sit with him up there. Pick a choice. And he goes, okay. And he goes up there and he sits with them. And you know what he does? 2 minutes later, and he
What?
goes down. I was just beside myself. I didn't,
Oh,
and you're a cub master and everybody just looks at you like you are the shit gibbon of the world to take care of all of their kids. And somehow that, wow, this is free time. And it's like, no, it ain't. My kid's there. I'm doing this because my kid's there, and I don't mind taking care of other kids, and I don't mind showing them a good time and all the little crappy, the weird shit stuff that you guys did, climbing across the bridge, building the bridge. Remember we got a bridge? We built a bridge.
Yeah, we did build a bridge. I remember
sorts
building
of
that
things.
bridge.
We went camping together. We dressed up as Indians. I know we offended
Oh yeah,
all
Back
the
before
American
when you-
Indians. We pissed them off worse than anyone. You should
when
have
you
seen
could do that.
all the bald fat guys out there with war paint on. You're like,
I'm
no.
remembering that. Wow, that just
remember-
triggered a lot
Remember
of things.
your mother just looked at me and goes like, these guys don't get it, do they?
They're like morbidly obese.
Yeah, but it was just sort of funny anyway.
I think there was
And-
one
and-
of them too that was like, I'm like 35% Cherokee. I was like, even as
Yeah,
a 6-year-old, I was like, I don't
No,
know about
yeah.
that one, dude.
No,
I don't know about that
just
one,
because
man.
you drank a bottle of Cherokee liquor yesterday doesn't mean that you're Cherokee today.
And you're chewing Red Man as well. That doesn't make you Native American. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox. Okay,
Oh,
whatever.
jeez.
Anyway,
But Kentucky Derby. Here we go.
Anyway,
Here we
back to
go.
the Kentucky Derby.
Good time. Good time. It
Oh
was
my
hot.
God.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
It was
Our
hot.
first picture of the Derby is
Oh, that guy.
this gentleman.
That guy was
That's
great.
the very first picture on my roll. What's yours?
John. My phone's actually dead. Oh,
Here's
that's a good one.
That's when we got included. We ordered dinner at the bar that night. We our first drink was we went to the bar and we each got what was it, 1.7 ounces of Pappy.
I thought it was
So we got-
1.35. It was some odd number.
Yeah, some odd number. He pours it out in a glass. It was like $3 million. I mortgaged the house. Oh, by the way, you're not getting anything when I die now.
Well, I took a second mortgage out on my apartment that I'm renting. So
Oh, so you got another shot on the you got another shot of Pappy.
no,
anyway.
that was just from the
Anyway,
betting.
it was amazing. It was amazing, and everybody was talking about Rabbit Hole and all this other stuff. And next thing you know, we had 19. What did we drink? We drank our faces off that night.
Brown in the beginning.
Brown.
I
at the
remember
beginning,
that.
Then you went to Jen.
Then I went to Jen. Yeah, because you
That
gotta
was
go
a
clear.
mistake.
Makes you less hungover though.
It didn't seem that way.
No, it really didn't.
We get ready, and let me see if I can show the picture for what we.
Oh, I don't think
we
it was-
walked around. Remember, we went to the Evan Williams place when we were there.
Oh yeah.
These are out of order. We went there before we went to the bar and got, and we went up the road. Remember?
No. That was after. That was after the bar.
Oh, that's right. We went right to the bar and then we did that. That's how
And then
good
we went
are.
to 4th Street in Louisville.
Right.
Louisville.
Right. And the thing that we noticed more than anything is, oh my God, without that little 4th Street thing, you can't see. I love showing these pictures that people can't see. Can you see those at all?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Everything,
Yeah.
all the downtown, huge areas gutted. There's nothing there. They're just empty business after empty business after empty business, So anyway, we go there, then we go out, we would go back to that bartender. Did we go to another bar?
Locos, the Mexican
Yeah,
bar.
we went to Mexican bar and then we went up and around and then we made the mistake of walking outside of 4th Street and they were charging like $20 to get in. And then we didn't go back in. So then we went back around to that bar and we were looking for food. So we ended up eating there that night at the bar at the hotel, which was the Galt, G-A-L-T. We drank and drank and drank and drank and drank. That's when we did all the gin. That's when we did all the excess bourbon. That's when we tried Rabbit Hole. That's when we tried, oh my God, there was just everything.
Did we drink
And
Rabbit
then-
Hole? Oh, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I drank
And
that
then-
at Sundance too. And I remember I
Yeah.
met the woman that I was the
When
rep
we-
for that. Yeah.
When we got ready, this is what we looked like the next day. We were dapper.
Oh, yeah.
hands.
Very dapper.
And we didn't realize that we had bench seats. And you may not. So I'm pressed to get up early at 7:30. We had a 9 o'clock takeoff time. We do our showers. We're in the same room. We we moan and groan about who's going to get up first and who's going to shower first and all that kind of stuff. I just remember, and I was thinking, like, this reminds me when I was, no, man, you take a shower first, I'll take one last. That means you'll wait for me. You're like, no, you go, you know. And that means I'll wait for you. And it's like, and it's sort of the trade-off that what you do when you got to be somewhere. But anyway, we figured it out. We got down to the bus. We got on the reserve bus. We went on the bus. The bus swayed the whole way there.
Oh, it was bad.
You almost
it's
booted on the bus, but you made it there.
Oh yeah, that was not good.
I was surprisingly queasy, but not crazy.
I had it was food poisoning bad. It was that level. It was that level of hungover.
When you went behind the dumpster, that was the coolest thing. We get off the bus, and then there's a line. They haven't
9:30 in the morning.
9:30 in the morning. They haven't opened the Derby for a 10:30 thing, right? And there's the thing that was interesting about the Derby. It was a wonderful time to be with you and see it and see the horse race it was. But logistically, they were like a handful of Scrabble pieces thrown in the fucking grass. It was just like you couldn't find shit. Shit was all over the place. You had to go here. You had to go there. They had, okay, we have food service. That's on the 3rd floor. We have, okay, you got to go to the bathroom. That's on the 1st floor. Oh, where's your seat? It's on the 4th floor. Okay, so where do you do this? Oh, that's outside and around the corner. And you're just like, where do you bet? Oh, that's over there. And it was just like, and then our seats where we sat, we wanted to watch the race. You could watch the horse race and you could watch it on a huge jumbotron, but they didn't tell you the numbers of the horses. So you didn't know who was winning each game. So you had to go back inside. And when you walked around, you would see like tons of these little screens all covered over. So they used to have them there. The ones that I always see at the track, I've been to the track more than once, unfortunately. Once or twice it was actually fortunate, but for the most part it wasn't. Anyway,
my favorite part was going back and then thinking like all bleary-eyed that you won, and then they're like, this isn't a winning ticket, right? And I'm like, oh, I win, no, because you guys aren't announcing the winners.
You're not posting anything. It's
like when you're in Union Station and they're announcing the trains. That's what it's like. You know that?
Run over to each one real quick to see. Oh, it was so wicked cool. But I mean,
it was a good time though.
Oh my God.
Atmosphere, 10 out of 10.
Oh, and the people we met, oh my God, person after person after person.
Military dude was cool.
Military dude was cool from Vietnam, and he salutes us, and I walk up and you're talking to him and he actually says you're a good person. I'm going like, what the hell?
Bill was great.
Bill,
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And I was like, it's cold up there. And he's like, yeah, it's freezing.
Yep. Yeah. And then he had 2 sons. Were they in the military?
Yeah.
One was a firefighter.
Well, he was paramilitary. He did rescues in Afghanistan from helicopters. That's what he was doing.
I mean, just so crazy. And the other guy was a door knocker.
I thought he was a bomb sweeper or a mine sweeper or something.
Oh, I thought he was a door. One of them was the guy that did doors. He said that's what he did his first tour, and then
kicked in the doors.
Second tour. Yeah, and I was just like,
whoa. That's
and then because I told him about our nephew who's a minesweeper and said that he went through, he was in the shit,
Oh, he was talking about the second son being bomb sweeper in France.
Oh,
and he was looking for bombs out there. He was doing something like that. And I'm like, I didn't know there were bombs in France.
Oh yeah, they bombed the Spain trailway, roadway. There was all sorts of.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's the same thing they have here. We have bomb sweepers here. I mean, every time you go through the airport, you're running into bomb sweep. It really depends upon how you classify it. That's every government building you go into downtown, they have a bomb sweeping unit that is scanning your car, and there's a person in charge of it, right?
It's like when you see the dogs in TSA.
Right. And they smell gunpowder and that kind of stuff. And now they have the dogs that go on trains and smell and stuff like that. And, that's what. But anyway, I mean, really cool dude. Talked to him for a while. We met a couple other people, couples. The other couple we met the next day. But anyway, let's not jump ahead to the other people because we still have more to cap. All of this is at the front of the track in the first day.
The Longines.
The Longines, which is the Kentucky Oaks, which is the Friday races. There were 14 races. I didn't realize we didn't have to stay for all of them. That was stupid. So we got there early as hell. And the reason why was pushing us to leave to be there for the 10:30 open, which it was a 10:30 open. Now this is the cool. They let you in at 10 o'clock. When you go in, none of the betting stations worked. They were all on a fritz. They didn't start working till 10:15. And they're like, well, everybody online bets anyway. And I'm going like, no, I didn't come to the Kentucky Derby to I wanted to, you know,
It's more
like
fun when you get to see the money that you lose in front of you.
right.
I think that's way more fun.
It's kind of like going to the casino and then staying in your room and jerking off and doing online gambling. What the hell's that all about? You know, why would you go to the Bellagio if you were not going to be down on the floor putting money on it?
Are you saying you're not on FanDuel.com when you're at the Kentucky Derby? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
And by the way, this post is sponsored by FanDuel.com. Go visit their website.
Yes. And Joe Rogan's Experience.
Yes. Thank you. We finally got the sponsor.
Hold it. Are we sponsoring them or are they sponsoring us?
We'll just say the name enough times and then it'll happen. Speak it into existence. Well, but yeah, the Longines was fun. That was good. Well, it rained. It rained as well. It rained.
Cease and desist.
It rained. You remember that? You remember it rained?
Oh, it poured. It poured. Monkey. Yeah.
It was mucky.
That's not, I can't get an analogy with a monkey and pouring rain. I don't, jungle monkey rain. I mean, something like that.
Yeah. Howler monkey.
Yeah. Anyway,
those guys are loud.
We did that. Well, when I press the button, then you see that it turns real dark. You can't see it. It's
it blows out because of the white balance of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I met this dude there. He's kind of weird.
Oh, there's that guy.
Yeah, he was there. We had that things. And then we walked the dogs. Now then I'm getting updates from the person that does my dog walking that takes care of the dogs. We met the Shaws there. Remember? Yeah, we took pictures of the lady's knees that got knee surgery.
Yeah, and then I thought that was odd.
Well, no, I wanted to show it to your mother.
Yeah,
because my wife, Oedipus. That was weird. Anyway, you could say that. She's having knee surgery, so we got to listen and she's doing all sorts of different things to figure out what is the best place to do it, what is the best way to do it, what is the is it really necessary, all that, and this friend of the family had the surgery done twice from 2 different doctors, and she had really good input, and we're going to go with one of the doctors she picked.
I thought it was interesting the box seating too. I've never seen any seating. The box seating, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, they had.
It's like just railings. It's just railings. It's like yeah, with 4 chairs and 2 people can sit basically comfortably in the 4. It's kind of like those 4-person hot tubs where it's like you really can get
beat the hell out of the bench bleachers.
Oh
if you go to the Derby and you want to really watch the races, not just race, you sit on benches for 7 or 8 hours. I mean, you get little lines in your ass,
I forget. Yeah.
That was
AA baseball.
The feet were just dropping off because you go to feet and go to baseball games, sit in the bleachers for a doubleheader. It's kind of the same thing.
It is.
Except for we were there at 10:30 in the morning in our seats until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were like, I gotta go.
We had the mint julep. The mint julep was good.
Well, remember. 3rd race or 4th race? What race did you win?
The first day or the second?
The first day. I didn't win.
I didn't win anything the second day. You're right.
Yeah, we just better ass.
5th race.
You won the 5th race, and you and I and I thought it was. We put $10 on number 7. Was it? In the 5th race?
Remember 5 or 6.
One of them to win.
Horse 5, I think.
And you said it. You screamed the bet to me because you were sitting next to me. You were standing next to me betting at the window. I want 20 on number 7, and I thought you meant to bet it. So I bet 20 on 7.
Yeah,
and it won. It was a favorite, but it was 36.
I think you just overheard me talking to the teller.
But then you bet it too, so we both won exactly the same race, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, $36.50. Yeah,
but the race before was my win.
Oh, that was crazy.
Oh, wow. Because I go in there and it's another one of those races where I didn't know who the winner was, but my number, I had a 268, I think it was. And the 2 race, I had a 2, and I knew the 2 was in it, and I thought the 8 was in it. I was like, "Is the 6 in it?" And I couldn't see, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find anybody, and they're all just replaying the running, and it's like, well, that doesn't do me any good. I need to see a tote board. The tote boards were few and far between where we were sitting. We were at the far left-hand side. We were in 225 red on the bleachers, and it was just like, you guys, bad.
There's more infomercials about like the people that raise the horses than the actual race itself.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't even. Yeah, it was a little frustrating.
I mean, usually the odds change. If you go to any gambling thing, you can see them all, but you had to be in that little circle area.
They didn't even put the ad or the odds on the screen at all.
On the big screen.
They did
that everybody could see.
Oh, on the other side.
They did it on little. They did it on a little screen in the middle of the field. Remember when we went over and visited the knee woman?
Oh yeah.
You could see it from there, and that was like right at the finish line. It's like, well, okay, what about the whole rest of the track? And usually, all those little screens we saw around that were off, that's where they post them, so anybody can just turn around and go like, tote. Oh, 268. 268.
Also, and even in the where you bet, half the screens were off. Half the TVs were off.
Yeah, and a lot of
three TVs, and there was like
remember
400 people around 3 TVs. It was bizarre.
They couldn't get it working at first. They couldn't get
strange.
Anyway, the moral of that story is that I went in there finally. I give her the ticket to check, and I say, "Can you just check and see if it wins?" And she goes, "You got a winner." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I figured I bet $20 I was going to get 40. And I got $914.33 or something.
Well, it was a straight trifecta, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 268.
For those that don't know what a straight trifecta is, 268, horse 2, horse 6, and horse 8 all completed first, second, and third. For the explanation for those that don't know.
And I bet a 268 box trifecta, which means that it's any combination. So the 2 can come in first, second, or third. The 6 can come in first, second, or third. And the 8 can come in first, second, or third. And the reason I picked those numbers is, what was the reason?
That thing?
I think it was the numbers, because 415 is my brother's death. So 415. And then
the date that is correct.
Right. 15 is my favorite number, 15. So I said 45. No, it was 258. And then so the 8, the 5, and the 2 were the winners. The 4 scratched. So and the 1 scratched. So I moved it to 2, and it was just like this really weird confluence of stuff. It isn't about knowing anything about track and racing and weights and all this stuff, which all the smart people do. I mean, I didn't. And
I don't know how to read any of those diagrams that there are on the pages. There's all these really small numbers. Like I have no idea.
They're all small numbers, and they're the racing book, and they tell you how much what they've run in the last 4 races, 6 races, 10 races, whatever they are, who the owners are. If you know the owners are good, you know the weight of the horse, you know the jockey, you know if the jockey regularly wins, if the horse regularly wins, do they regularly run a quarter mile, a half mile, whatever the distance? Do they run that distance and win at that distance and lose at shorter distances, which means that they don't start running until the end of the race.
Basic hieroglyphics if you're looking at it, though.
Yeah, but if you know a little bit about racing, you can kind of figure out certain things, but that doesn't really make you any better at betting. That just makes you better at losing. And so, I mean, no, I've been to the track so many times with people that knew what they were doing, and no one I've ever met, and I'm sure there are, besides the announcers on TV, make a lot of money at it. Or enough to survive on.
I wonder if there are people. Well, there's poker players,
course
right?
There are.
There's professional poker players that are really good.
Yeah. There's pros. Yeah, but I mean, do they post all the time?
Yeah.
You know, you and so what is it that they figure things out that they're going to know more statistically where things are going to come out, and they're going to know when to go to bet big and gamble big when. Who was the guy? The Ken Salamban, whatever his name was. One of the horse owners, you bet on 3 times and won 3 times.
Yeah, because he won the first race that or the third race, I don't remember. Horse number 7, and he was at Abu Dhabi, and I was like, okay, this guy's got more money than God, so we're gonna do it. And then all the American trainers lost like every time.
Yeah, so that was the thing, was we were betting on the international trainers.
Yeah, that was a really good.
This is us smoking in the street at the end of the day.
I can't see it.
I can't see it. I went on to the next one. We took a lot of singular pictures of ourselves. This is us. Whoa, what's that? Oh wow, it looks like you had a water glass of vodka there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's nice.
This is the second day. This is when we changed hats and we changed outfits. I have a brown hat and he has a black hat. On the first day, I had a black hat and he had a brown hat. And what we were doing was wearing derbies at the Derby, and that was sort of the whole theme of it. And I handed out the card to a bunch of people to say, "Hey, we were. Is this Bill?
Can you send me that photo?
No.
He always takes like 50 photos and sends me the bad ones.
Well, exactly.
Just the worst.
Well, yeah, I'm that kind of guy. But the thing is like at every time I take a photo, what do you say?
Why do you got everything around here?
I've never said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
All the time.
I kept trying to get you to take photos, and then you don't tell me. You don't even give me a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You just say.
And this was our 12th race. There was a bet on the Derby. This is you. Oh, looking. This is the actual race itself. The video. None of this.
I wouldn't even play the video. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
The white
we had
balance
pictures. I had some of the best pictures we got were from the guy that we met that lives on a Tennessee farm. And,
that guy was awesome.
He's a
cool
great
dude.
man, you know. And then, of course, the last photo of
the airport.
Yeah. But the second day, we got there later. Probably didn't get there till 1 o'clock race, and we were there until. Were we there all the way then? Yeah, we were.
Yeah, till the 14th race.
But we went in and we had red entry tickets, not blue entry tickets. So we waited in a line for
half
an hour. Yeah, maybe 100 people. We got to the front, and they go to search us. They searched us. They let us in, and then they go to take our tickets, and they're like, "You can't come in here. You got to go in the other gate. That's on the other side." So we had to leave, go out the stadium, walk all the way around to the other side and come in the other side.
I've never seen that in my life.
I was just like, you mean I just can't go in here? And after we waited, and there was nothing saying you could only enter on this. I'm sure on line number 75 on my tickets, rights, rules, terms, and conditions, it says you can only enter in the gate that's color that corresponds with your ticket.
What's weird too is that the stadium itself isn't all like off-put. Like it's not there's no barriers or anything within the stadium, so we could have very well just walked around to the other side.
Yeah, it
which made no sense. It made no sense at all.
There was this is one of the many things that just there was logistically it was crazy. You come out, you got to walk to your bus, which you can see, say 50 meters in front of us, but instead we had to walk at least 200 meters away from it to go around to the Hine and come in. And I kind of understood that to get back on the buses that were taking us back. That made more sense to me.
The stadium had a big parking lot, I think, where the Ubers were. That made sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no way logistically.
Well, the stadium was away. You had to walk a half mile from the stadium to get to there if you took an Uber. But if you took the bus dropped you in the VIP section. You still had to walk. You had to go through all this like turnstile stuff. They had the same thing in Qatar when we went to the World Cup, where you had to go through these things where it was just, they made you stay away from the buses because the buses could come in and drive through, and they didn't want anybody to get run down.
We were closing, not texting. I don't know why I said that. Like 14,000 steps a day every day. It was.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
It was a little wild.
Yeah, our first day, I did a little more than 20,000. So it was like, wow, and not even, exhausted, just literally, just wow.
It's 88 degrees and you're in a suit, and it's just, it's boiling. It's boiling.
The heat didn't really bother me.
Really?
I didn't mind the heat. I just kept taking off my hat, and I think the thing that would bother me most was it seemed like it was all inclusive. What you got was in every single, you've got a line of hamburgers, line of empanadas, a line of hot dogs, a line of this, a line of this. You had to wait in a line of 30 people to get that one item. You couldn't go to the front and say, hey, there's a steak and cheese over there. That's what I want. Well, you got to wait in that line.
That's kind of normal, though. I don't know.
It was crazy the amount of I was surprised by the length of the lines and the time that you had to wait. I feel like I'm just bitching about everything that was there.
It seems like it.
Maybe I am. Maybe that's kind of the thing, is to just kind of get over all the little small things and stop being, such a whiny little whatever itch. Anyway, I mean, that's what I was thinking is like, it just seemed like there were all of these, because the only reason I'm this way is because the first Derby I went to, I went with Bushka. He's much nicer than you, by the way. Anyway,
he
we sat on the first turn, and it was a VIP thing too. We had our own seats. We didn't have bleacher seats.
Well, you can't compare VIP to bleacher seats. It's not comparable.
And you went to the back, and there were no lines, and it was basically self-serve booze. They had like 25 tables of liquor.
You can't compare
went
that.
Up and you made it yourself. They had barrels of beer, just canned beer there, that you just grabbed what you wanted. And then behind that, you walk through the curtains were like 75 or 80 Don's Johns that were all handicapped. So they figured drunks are going to need to sit down. Anyway, I mean, it was just like amazing. So that was the difference between here. You would go out and you had to go down a flight of stairs, 2 stairs sometimes, and go out. And then that's where you go to bathroom, and then you come in and you go up 2 flights of stairs, and then you would go up to gamble, and then you would come back in, and then go down a flight of a different stair set, and that's where you could go to get food. So food was on one place, gambling was on another, and bathrooms were on, and you were just like, this is so crazy, That's what I thought. I thought I thought the whole system was sort of weird that way, that they couldn't or intermingle them, because I wanted to place a bet and eat food and go. If they would have,
you're not moving those wager stations though. Those wager stations have been at the same place. Those are permanent. You can't. Yeah. Those weren't collapsible at all.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
there were a lot of places that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just being a bitch, but for the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing is that I got to go there. I spent Thursday night. I met you at the airport, and I saw you till Sunday. We left. We both went to the taxi to the airport at the end, and it was a wonderful experience. All bitching aside,
yeah,
that I got to sit there and see this historic event, because on top, the coolest thing was it was the 150th Kentucky Derby. So it was like a monument, it wasn't the 200th one, because I ain't going to be alive then. And it wasn't the 100th one because I was 9 or whatever. Anyway, it was 50 years ago. What was I? I was 14. And I couldn't bet anyway. But it was, well, when you think about it, give me a couple things that you think about that give you a takeaway from there.
A takeaway?
Yeah.
I don't think I really ever need to do it again. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do it again.
Of our experiences together, I could go back to Antarctica. I would love to go back to Antarctica. I might be able to go to Galapagos again, but I'd have to do it in a different fashion.
I would never do that ever again.
I mean, I probably not, but
there's too many places in the world to go back and redo it again.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I can think about now is the Antarctica. That's the one I go back to.
That was phenomenal.
I want to go to North Pole. I think the thing is, if I went back to Antarctica, that would be the problem. It'd probably be not nearly.
It would suck. It would suck.
But we met people that were there.
Well, we saw a group of like 50 whales, and there have been people that were there for 10 years and they've never seen that ever in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the problem. Was that there was people working on the boat. They're like, you've seen things that I've never seen in my entire life.
Well, when I saw the Inca deer, and my guide, who was a guide for 22 years, and he said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yeah, I saw the Inca deer." And he goes, "You sure it wasn't like something else?" And I said, "I took a picture." He's like, "Oh my God." He said, "I'd never seen one in the wild." He said, "I've been doing this for 22 years." And then I saw all these little miniature owls. I walked up on a tree because I'm a fast walker. So I usually walk in the front of the group, and I talk to the guide and I say, "Hey, can I just walk ahead of everybody?" And and I'll stop at anywhere there's a T or something like that. And that was in Torres del Paine.
Yeah. On that note, we're gonna cut it off actually.
Oh yeah,
we're about a minute and a half left here. And as always, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that story.
But we're excited about the Derby.
Our adventure to the Kentucky Derby was a great time. Great time, and more things to come. More things to come. Yeah, as always, we have a Q&A section in the Spotify. Keep hitting the questions. John Braun's asking a bunch of, he's posting in the Spotify, so that's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just posted the other day. We love you, John. We love you, buddy.
We love you, John. Listen to the end of this, and you can hear us.
Yeah.
Give the kid a kiss and the hug and the wife a what? Oh, I don't, something like that.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Party on, man. Ruff.